The month of November. Almost every day has a meaningful moment. And it would actually make sense for us to gather a lot of times in the month of November to remember, to mark moments that deserve our attention. It is not a coincidence that today, on the 9th day of the month of November, which is actually a sad day for the world, and on the Jewish calendar because of Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass in Germany from around 80 years ago. And on the same day today, we're gathering on these steps because we are preparing for Veterans Day, a day that we celebrate those people, members of the armed forces of the United States, who served their country for a day, a week, months, or years. People who made the decision that they're going to take time out of their lives to protect the freedoms that we have. Because on the 9th of November, our parents, our grandparents learned that unfortunately sometimes people out there are not interested in protecting other people. So how important is it for us to say thank you to those people who served our country, who serve our country, protected and protect the freedoms that we have. We wake up in the morning, we go to school, and in that school we can learn Torah, we can learn math, and we can learn science, and we can be Jews proudly, and we can gather, and we can wear the clothing that we want to wear, and we can be proud of who we are in the United States of America. That was not always the case, and that is important for us to remember. So for the next couple of minutes, let us be mindful of that. Think of the people who put themselves out there to protect our country. We'll open with a pledge. Please listen carefully.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are grateful to one person in this community who has made sure that we mark this day every year. Please give your undivided attention to Beverly Wolfer Nierenberg. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, SAR. So on Friday, as you all know and have heard, you're not going to have to come to school. But that's because it's Veterans Day here in America. And when I think about the day and the fact that it came the same week as Election Day, and it came the same week as the week we're doing the chesed tent in the lobby, and I know all of you are participating in different ways. And this morning, I've already even had the amazing opportunity to work with the second grade in terms of making packages for our troops that are serving in harm's way. And what I think is so significant about all of these very special days coming together this week is the opportunity for us to remember and to acknowledge those that are serving our country. They voluntarily made the choice to serve. My own brother made that decision when he went to college, and then he continued to serve our country for 13 years very bravely. And I think the message that I always take away from my brother's service, and this morning I met another second grader whose own father is serving our country very bravely today, is that these men and women have voluntarily chosen to serve our country in a very special way, even if it means putting their own lives at risk. And while we all may not choose to make that decision, I hope we all remember that we have the opportunity to make a difference in our families, in our communities, in our country, and in the world, and in your own personal way, whether that's by serving in the U.S. military or doing just something kind to one another. One of the things that I think is so amazing about our own U.S. military is the opportunity that you can still be Jewish within the U.S. military, even though those around you may not be Jewish. And I'll just give you one example from my own brother's life, is that when he went to Kuwait for the first time, he had not taken his tefillin. But a U.S. organization, the Olive Institute, asked him if he would like tefillin. And he accepted a pair of tefillin, and he made the commitment that day that every morning he would wake up, he would say Shema, put on tefillin, say Shema. And when my brother made a commitment, he always followed through. And so for the rest of his life, he always put on tefillin and said Shema. And so I hope that you all make those commitments that are important to you, whatever those may be, and that you follow through on them so that you can continue to impact yourself and those around you. And I hope this weekend, as you may speak to family members who may, and ask them about your own loved one's service to our country. Many of the second graders were so proud to tell me about family members, grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins who've served in the U.S. military. So use this as an opportunity to say thank you and express hakarat hatov to those in your own family that are currently serving or may have already served. Thank you.
Veterans Day was originally the recognition of the ending of World War I's hostilities at 11 a.m. November 11, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. This day became known as Armistice Day. In 1939, World War II broke out in Europe and shattered the dream that World War I was the war to end all wars. Ultimately, President Eisenhower signed into law that November 11th would be declared Veterans Day, a day to honor all U.S. service members who have heroically saved our great nation. Today, it is our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to forget those willing to pay for it. Today, we celebrate America's veterans for keeping this nation the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Adir Maram Shochan Bigvura Melach Shah Shalom Shalom Hashkifa Mimon Kochacha Vorach at Chelet Far Tot Abrit אמיצי כוח המחרפים את נפשם להגנת שלום כבריאותך. אנא רחום היה נא להם מחסה ומשגב ואל תיתן למות רגלם. יהי שלום בחילם, ניצחון בגדודיהם. מלא ליבם אומץ ואמונה לסכל על צד אויבים ולהשבית כל ממשלה זדונים. הגן עליהם ביבשה, באוויר ובים, ואת קרני אויביהם תגדע. בשלום תוליכם ולשלום תצעידם, ולחיק משפחותיהם חיים ושלמים במהרה תשיבם, ככתוב אדוני ישמרך מכל רע, ישמר את נפשך, אדוני ישמר צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם. הנחילנו שלום אמת לקיים מה שנאמר, לא יישא גוי על גוי חרב ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. למען ידעו כל יושבי תבל כי לך אדוני מלוכה יעתה ושמך נורא על כל מה שבראת. וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן.
Please join together if you can as we sing God Bless America and express our collective joint Hakarat Hatov to the veterans of this country.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Yeah. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And let's conclude with a prayer for peace that we all know. O Javo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom
Shalom Aleinu. V'al Kulam. Everyone.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
V'al Kulam.
Shalom
Aleinu v'al kol ha'olam.
Shalom. Shalom. Salam.
Aleinu v'al kol ha'olam.
Kalam, kalam. Now just your voices. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
V'al Kulam.
Shalom.
Aleinu v'al kol ha'olam.
Salam. Salam.
Aleinu v'al kol ha'olam.
Shalom. Shalom.
Thank you all. Please return to your classes. Have a wonderful and meaningful and mindful day.
It's the board. So
Okay, all right.